Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Boost! I'm YouTube famous now. Available 2018. The album, Dad AF. Rock on, gorgeous woman. Rock on, gorgeous woman. I had to just play that part. Anyway, let's get right into this video, shall we? And I'm sitting in a different spot today because, well, it's much easier for me to read all of this stuff off of the computer rather than have it in my lap over there. So sometimes we have to adjust, and I thought maybe they'll like a different little setting anyway. So this is kind of just a video that I really had no intention of making, and then it just kind of evolved into something. And this is really me asking your opinion about what you think of what I'm going to talk about on here. I don't know that I have such an opinion about it. I used to back in the day, but my opinion has kind of changed over time, and I don't really know how I feel about this. So I'm just going to kind of put this stuff out there, and then I would really be interested to see what you guys think, and I'm actually going to put up a poll at the end of this. So let me tell you what happened, okay? I was going through my emails last night, and I received this email, and the email is from, okay, eBirdypress@gmail.com. I have no idea if that is associated with eBirdy, if it's not associated with eBirdy, but it does say that it comes from the senior editor of eBirdy.com, so I'm assuming that it's from them, okay? And the email detail says, Bella Thorne's ex, Tana newest, next victim in witch hunt again, and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And at first I didn't see the eBirdy thing in there. So I went underneath here and I read it, and it says, YouTube star and ex-girlfriend of Bella Thorne, I'm Bella Thorne, okay. Tana Mongeau is the latest influencer to be under fire for promoting eBirdy, a ghostwriting and proofreading platform. The star recently canceled a spring break trip with eBirdy as the witch hunt continues, not only inflicting on Americans freedom of speech, but also doing a disservice to college students looking for professional proofreading for their assignments. Below is a statement from eBirdy. At eBirdy, we are bringing the old age industry of ghostwriting into the digital era. From editing to proofing, we offer a wide range of services that people from around the world use for multiple tasks at any stage in their life. eBirdy is a freelance platform where writers and clients meet and agree on having a specific topic or subject covered in writing. For all of our services, there is a disclaimer that suggests that anything obtained through the website should be used only as a sample or reference. That's called covering your butt, okay? As a fast-growing startup company, we are more than willing to work with officials, allegedly in my opinion. As a fast-growing startup company, we are more than willing to work with officials to comply with their rules and adapt our model to meet their needs. Please let us know if you have any further questions. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, shabba-lang-dang, ding-dong. Ding! House of Drama phone, this is Peter speaking. Tana Mongeau drama, $20 today. It's real hot. Oh, hi, Jane, how are you? Oh, well, I was just sitting here, you know, Dawn and I, we've been taking that new class, Kama Sutra, Oh, the positions are so much fun. There's so many of them. What? I like the backhand curdled cow is my favorite, Oh, you've done it too. You took the class. Well, who did you take it with? Your friend Judy Smith, don't tell anybody, Jay, that's so funny. Well, anyway, what's your favorite position? The twisting taco. I know, I love the Kama Sutra. Well, you know, here's the problem, Jane, is that we have to write an essay on our favorite position before we can pass the class, yeah, and we can start taking it to the bedroom, so to speak, you know, like married folk do. But anyway, I'm not very good at essays, so I got online and I paid $500 to get an essay written, okay? Yeah, about the curdled cow. Yeah, that's my favorite. And I went through this eBirdy, but I got an essay instead on the presidency of the United States and Abraham Lincoln. I don't even know how I'm supposed to turn that in. What? No, the grammar's not very good either. Well, I've never heard of a Kama Sutra move called the Abraham Lincoln. Does it have something to do with that hat? Well, all right, Jane, if you find a new essay writing contest, let me know. All right, bye. So anyway, let's just talk about this eBirdy thing for a second, okay? Now, I have made previous videos about eBirdy and Tana Mongeau because Tana Mongeau put up into Snapchats in the past something about eBirdy. And just about 2 weeks ago, I think it was within the last 2 weeks, she kind of like put it out there again on Twitter. And she's like, you know, saying things about eBirdy and getting promoted. And it's obviously, get this corn out of my face. Get this corn out of my face. It's obviously sponsored that she's doing this, okay? Now, my opinion over time obviously has changed about this. I'm like, you know what? Let people get their coin where they want to get it. It's just not that deep to me. I just don't care that much anymore, right? But then, it's like, are we talking about, eBirdy? Are we talking about sponsorship or whatever? And so I was like, I don't really know a whole lot about this eBirdy thing, even though I've kind of spoke on it before. Now, when I did my video before, I went in and I kind of researched eBirdy and I looked into it to look to see what it was, and it claims that it's just like an essay, like thing. On here it says it's just samples, but on their website it says something to the effect of that, like they'll help you with essay writing and whatever, basically that, And I'm thinking to myself, well, isn't this kind of just like cheating? Like, I didn't know. Like, is it cheating or is it not? If somebody else writes your essay for you and you pay them to do it and you turn it in as if it's your own writing, isn't that cheating? I mean, I would assume that it was. Plagiarism is copying somebody else's work that's already been, and I was like, is there a difference? So I started doing a little research on this, and it was interesting because the BBC, this is actually from the bbc.com /news/education. They put an article out on May 3rd of 2018, Essay Cheating, How Common Is It? And underneath here it says, a BBC investigation has found that prominent YouTube stars are encouraging students to buy essays. Passing off a custom-made essay as your own is a form of plagiarism known as contract cheating. So per the BBC, a reputable organization, I think, they believe that it's a form of plagiarism called contract cheating, which I had never heard of before. It involves a student ordering an essay, usually through a website, for free. But it could also be friends or family members writing an essay on a student's behalf. Companies offering these sorts of services are known as essay mills. The fee will usually depend on the essay subject, length, and deadline. And then it goes in here and it says some essay mills, including eBirdy, claim that essays they provide are 100% plagiarism free. But even if the essay you buy doesn't necessarily contain copied material, the act of submitting it as your own is itself a form of plagiarism, according to the Quality Assurance Agency, which monitors standards in UK higher education. So, this is a little bit like cheating. Yeah, it is. And so it's not the fact that they're buying it, okay? And this is how I think eBirdy gets away with it. It's like, we can write it for you and you can sample it from this, but if you turn it in, that's your business, right? Like, if you buy the essay and you turn it in as your own, that's when it becomes cheating. So to take a sponsorship like these YouTube stars from eBirdy isn't necessarily telling people to cheat. It's not necessarily telling people that you should plagiarize your work, or is it, right? Because eBirdy is hiding behind this whole thing of saying, we're not telling you to turn it in. You're having us do the essay, and maybe you're basing your essay off of our essay, whatever, right? It's very confusing, okay? So it goes in here and it says a bunch of stuff. A student caught doing this could face serious penalties, including expulsion. eBirdy says that there is a disclaimer on each site which suggests that the work it provided should only be used as a sample or reference. And this is how eBirdy hides behind it. But here's my question, right? If you're going to pay the large sum of, let's say, $100, $200, $300 to buy an essay because at the last minute you didn't do your essay or you need help with it, are you really going to just use that as a sample or a reference? I mean, can you even imagine putting on a college paper, let alone a master's paper or a PhD paper, your dissertation that you got from eBirdy? Can you even imagine citing as a reference eBirdy.com? I mean, I can't. I think that it would probably get you a straight up fail right there, right? So it's very interesting to me. Now, I did go in and I Google searched seeing if anybody was expelled due to eBirdy, and I really couldn't find anything. I went through a lot of it and I couldn't find anything. But what was interesting to me were some of the reviews on eBirdy, and they're not good, okay? Like, literally every review is really, really negative. And they go, where is the first review? Okay, so I went into this website, and they go in here and they talk top essay writing services by customer preferences, and eBirdy is one of the top ones on there, which is very interesting to me, right? Number one is collegepaper.org. There's also on here Essay on Time, proessaywriting.com, awriter.com, bestessaytips.com, on and on and on. After I got my essay, my professor looked at it briefly and pointed some things out that needed to be revised. Okay, so wait, here's the reviews. Do not get your essays done with these guys. This is referencing eBirdy, and this is just, I'm reading it from the website. These are not my opinions. They are completely full of lies. Their website is false advertising, in which one portion says, if you're not satisfied, money back guaranteed, which is a lie. The writers are not well educated and will give you a failing, low quality essay. The customer service is fraud, in which they will cut off any complaints with the answer of, you're not getting your money back. They present weak essays for almost $100, so if you think you're getting passing the essay, you are wrong. They present you with anything just to get paid. These guys are scams, false advertising, and frauds. This is just for this essay. Okay. I paid for dissertation. Can you imagine paying, first of all? Now, you've worked your butt off to get into a PhD program, and you paid somebody to do your dissertation, okay? Shame, shame. I don't understand that, first of all. I paid for dissertation to be done, and I wanted it to be done in bits, which the writer was happy to do. I also allowed plenty of time, months, to do the work. Then it said the person's name, so the essay was his area of expertise. Sadly, he was late to complete the first section, and whenever I messaged him, he would not respond even though he was online. He eventually apologized and said his laptop was having technical problems. He reassured me the work would be completed within 4 days. This rang alarm bells as it was a 10,000 word dissertation, which she spelled dissertation. And I agree, girl, it was a dissertation. Anyway, I didn't mean his own deadline. When I eventually got the work done and paid for it to be released, the work was terrible and the English and grammar was a direct translation from some other dialect possibly. He paid no attention to assessment criteria or any instructions for that matter. I would have been lucky if I had scored, but I scored a 20%. I paid 480 euros for this, okay? For a 20% on a PhD dissertation. Seriously? Like, that's pretty scary, okay? I had someone work on my essay. She was absolutely terrible and so disgusting and not trustworthy. She ignored me for hours. She's a terrible writer. I failed my assignment with a 25%. She put a thesis in the second paragraph. Who does that? I want my money back. Who goes that, it says. I want my money. No wonder you were calling eBirdy. Oh my God. Okay, I get it now. I want my money back. I paid a lot of money for this. She didn't follow any of my instructions. I asked her to fix it and would ask her for questions, and she ignores me and still hasn't answered. Please don't ever take her. Just don't use this app at all. None of them do as they're told. D-U-E. Girl, you need to hire somebody. I don't know who it is, spell check or something. As they're told, unless they feel like it, all they want is money. This is a scam. eBirdy sucks. Writers just copy from other essay websites. Be careful. You will not get your money back. I wish I could see the review. It's so disappointing. They don't even know where the thesis statement should be. Please, please don't waste your time and money. They don't even read instructions. So far, no paper that I have submitted has gotten me more than a B-. Well, that's pretty good compared to the rest of them. I paid good money for crap. In the bidding process, I got a message that the writer would do it for $45. He sent me a paper that had nothing to do with my article, and he did not follow instructions. I had a 3-page paper back in 2.5 hours, asked for revision, and he needed the entire next 7 days. 7th day, no paper. So I sent him a message and he asked for an extension. He assigned me a new writer and charged me, they assigned me a new writer and charged me at $67.95. Goes on and on and on. And as much as people complain about the site, I have worked with them as a writer. I'm a doctor and I offer the services as part of my part-time hustle. Okay, girl. Oh, isn't that rich? Ding-a-ling-a-ling, shabba-lang-dang. How's the drama phone? This is Peter speaking. I need to get an appointment with my doctor. I mean my part-time hustler. Okay, so anyway, I worked with them as a writer. I'm a doctor and I offer the services as part of my part-time hustle. What the people ordering papers from eBirdy should know is that the writers get $4 per page regardless. Well, that's not their fault. Okay, the people that are paying for it. $4 per page regardless of what you pay. And so the writers deliver work worth that money. eBirdy says a site is only for ordering, while on the other site, the writers respond from many different platforms such as, and it goes on and on and on and on. But they still only gave it a 1%. Like, that's hilarious. And they worked for them, so that must be crap. Wow, isn't this site utter trash? Okay, so basically I tried this out as an experiment. I asked for a 3-page essay on a relatively simple concept, the Baroque movement in architecture. Oh, I get a straight F on that. Although I gave them many reliable and extensive sources, the writer chose to use unfamiliar and unreliable sources. They only gave me a 2-page essay with the 3rd page made up of citations. In fact, the essay itself was utter garbage. Not to mention that the morals of the site and the many others like it are completely screwed. Just write your essay yourself. You'll be grateful in the long run. Stay in school, kids. Paid over $200 and still got terrible PhD paper. I mean, this, like, you guys, like, this is unreal that people are paying for PhD papers, okay? Never going back. Lost a customer. eBirdy is the worst out there. Don't try it at all. You'll regret it. Okay, you know, listen. I was not a good student growing up, okay? I barely graduated from high school. I used drugs and alcohol all through college. Don't do it, okay? It's not how you should do it. I almost didn't even get through college. Got sober when I was 22 and a half. My sobriety birthday is December 17th of 1994. Got into the master's program for social work. And, you know, that was at the point that I really was invested in my education. And I have to say that on nights that I stayed up finishing a 25-page paper, you know, that I did, that I learned a lot that had absolutely nothing to do with the topic that I was writing about. You know, I learned about, you know, waiting until the last minute to do something. I learned about, you know, like working with other people and writing a paper when you had to do it for a group. You know, I learned about research. I learned about so many things that had, you know, time management. I learned about believing in myself. You know, I learned about taking critique, you know, from the work that I've done, not what somebody else has done. There were so many lessons that I learned in writing papers that had very little to do with the actual topic of the paper itself. And, you know, when we talk about school and socialization and things like that, it's very much like the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. I just talked about this in my vlog. We're not just learning about the topics that we're learning. We're learning about getting along with other people, working with other people, you know, things like that. And I think that we have to remember that, you know, in situations like this. And I could go on and on and on. There's so many reviews on here. What, you know, absolutely terrible service. Stay away if you don't want to get scammed. Extremely unprofessional writers. Asked for 6 pages. They gave me shit. The site is shit. Absolute trash. Writers and a ripoff. On and on and on, okay? So many people in here said that they asked for a paper on one topic and they got a paper on another topic. It's really, really sad. So here's my question, okay? I don't fault Tana Mongeau for this. You know, in the past, I said a lot about that. But I do believe that, you know, YouTubers use sponsorships as a way to make money. This is really the responsibility of the person that is buying the service and the person that is buying, you know, going in there and doing that. But what responsibility does a YouTuber have to endorse products that they really believe in, products that they don't believe in, things like that? You know, I don't know, like, how much I really care or whatever, or is it the student's responsibility to go do the research like I just did and go read reviews and find out what's going on and if this is a program that you should really invest your money in. So I want to know, you know, do you guys believe that YouTubers have a responsibility with this? And like I'm talking about Tana Mongeau and Bella Thorne. I'm Bella Thorne. But she's not the only one, okay? There's many, many people out there that have had sponsorships from eBirdy. And not to mention eBirdy, but a lot of other services that are, you know, similar to this. That, you know, like have questionable tactics. So what responsibility really does the YouTuber have in that situation? And what responsibility does the viewer and the person that's purchasing these products? To me, and, you know, listen, my opinion can change like that. Opinions are like, you know what? We all got one and it can change, okay? Because it changes over time. But, you know, like, back in the day, I really thought it was a responsibility. Now, I will say this, okay, that Tana Mongeau's crowd, her audience is much younger. And so when she's talking about these, you know, services, she's talking to a service, you know, or audience of like 12 to 18-year-olds. And those are people that we're teaching them then in junior high and high school to buy, like, essays and that you can cheat and you can get your way through that. So to some degree, I do think that she has to think about, like, what she is endorsing when she puts it out there. Like, I think that is to some degree problematic. But I do think that the responsibility falls, you know, on the student, on the person ultimately. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's an interesting conversation. And I can't believe that more isn't said about these kind of essay writing things. Not just eBirdy, but all of them in general, you know? And I know it's a huge thing on college campuses and stuff now. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.